Hey everyone, welcome back to the stream. My name's Jose, and today's going to be a little bit of a different stream than what I've been doing normally this week. Make sure that's on there, everything's good. Cool. So, the purpose of this stream today, yesterday I posted on Reddit that I wanted to do a stream where I'm able to make sure that I'm giving some sort of a benefit to anybody that's watching this, because I do put all this time and effort into it, but I also completely understand that there isn't anybody out there that is being forced to watch my content. So I want to make sure that I'm doing my part to make sure that whoever watches my content is getting something out of it. And when I started this channel, the first few videos were really just about me talking about my rig or showing off my rig and just really just having fun with it and uploading videos of me driving. But with all of the sim racing content that's out there, I needed to make sure that I had a reason why, as to why I was going to be doing sim racing content, why I was going to be doing content for YouTube in general, and why I was going to pursue it in the way that I was going to I've gone full time with it now. So it was a very big decision that I had to make, but it was something that I knew I had all the tools with me, and I had all of the I had all the necessary pieces to do this, and it all made sense when I started putting all the pieces together and putting the sim rig together, and then jump into the whole mental health aspect of how I've been able to connect mental health to the simulator. That's kind of what the entire purpose of the stream was. I went on a little rant there, but yeah. So I had posted on Reddit that I wanted to do this stream to be able to answer as many questions as possible about either sim racing, my experiences with mental health, and how I've dealt with it, how I've coped with it, and how I've just been able to get from a point that was pretty terrifying for many years to a point now where I can comfortably discuss this subject of mental health, because I, for one, know a lot of people that don't like to talk about it, and I know for a fact that they deal with things and they just don't want to talk about it. And I worked with somebody not too long ago that took their own life because of depression, and I wasn't close to her by any means, but still, I mean, to this day, this was already, I think, 2 years ago that it happened, and it still shocks me that, I don't know, just by I think that a simple conversation, well, not really a simple conversation, because I totally understand that sometimes letting that stuff out is some of the most difficult things we can do, but it becomes so evident and it becomes so important, at least to me, when I started talking about the things that were just happening in my head and just letting them out and talking to other people about them. And the more I talked about it, the more responses I got. And it's funny because you can have a huge amount of people telling you all different things, and at the end of the day, what I ended up doing with all of that was just taking all of that feedback and taking the bits and pieces that worked for me, that made me feel comfortable, and I tried very hard to get onto that path and continue on that path, where now it's just become my regular mentality, and the simulator has really helped me to at least open up my mind, where even if it's just for half an hour a day or however long I can a day, when I'm driving and I'm focused, I'm at 100% focused, what that allows me to do is that it opens up my brain to think more creatively, and I'm able to just find solutions that I definitely wouldn't think about, in my day-to-day while I'm just running around doing a million things. I feel that the simulator, while I'm in a race situation, what ends up happening is that I'm 100% focused on one thing, and It's like I've talked about it so many times before. It's kind of like, I don't know if it happens to you, but it happens to me when I'll be in the shower. You're just in that rhythm of just taking a shower that you do every single day, and you end up opening up your mind, and you end up opening up space for your brain to think and your brain to operate. And at least for me, it's like some of the best ideas come to life there. And it happens a lot now where I'm in the sim and I'm racing and an idea for a video comes out, or I could be dealing with a situation in business or in life, and just it all just seems to come together a lot easier for me while I'm on the simulator. With that being said, though, it has been quite a few rough days on the sim with just not really sure why. I'm not sure if it's just been a lot of work, a lot of stress. I started messing around in the VRS series and in the F3 championship. So I started messing around basically in classes that required a setup. So I signed up for VRS yesterday, and definitely still need a lot of seat time to be able to get up to the top. But it was, I don't know, it was just weird because it was slightly frustrating the last several days, just trying to figure out what I was doing wrong on track, because everything that I seemed to do, just I kept destroying my race. I kept making a whole bunch of mistakes, and it was super frustrating. I did 2 races this morning off camera. I just wanted to be able to focus on them and do my races, and it was just 2 at Ferrari Fixed in Montreal, and what was it? I think it was P3 or 4 on this first race, and then we started off on the second race. I qualified P3. For some reason, P2 had not joined, so I was able to just get right behind P1 just by default, I guess. And then from there, I was able to hold second position most of the race. There's 2 lead changes. I was able to get in front twice, but ultimately ended up in second place, and it was nice because I was able to hold second place the entire race, which compared to my entire last week, even just yesterday of driving, has been super inconsistent. So I'm glad that I was able to get back into a rhythm where at least I was consistent on track, and being able to lap consistent lap times and staying within the pace. So I'm just gonna put up some of my, let's just put up my last race from yesterday. This was in the, what was this? I think this was in the Ferrari. Yeah. So this was all just qualifying session, and we'll just leave this here for a little bit, see if anybody else wants to join in on the room. And yeah, so basically today it's just going to be a hangout session. I'll have these races playing in the background, and I'll hang out here for a while, see if anybody has any questions about sim racing or the rig. If you have any questions about like production or cameras or just camera equipment, anything about mental health or my experiences with that, I'll be hanging out here and hopefully be able to answer as many questions as possible, and hopefully be able to talk to a bunch of people. So enjoy. I think this was the last race I did yesterday in the IMSA series with the Ferrari. It was just one of those moments where I was like, all right, I need to finish a race. I don't know how many races I had done up to this point. I think it was like the third or fourth one in the day, and just got to a point where I just wanted to go to bed and feel that I had at least made another effort to, you know, get a better performance out of the car. Still P19 here, but either way, I think that mistakes were kept to a minimum here. I just kept focusing on trying to hit every single mark possible, just trying to keep the car on track. And even with the setups that I was running, I was still, I think, 4 or 5 seconds off the pace. So it's very difficult for me to, you see here, I already lost the car. It's very difficult for me when I'm doing terrible on track, just because on a confidence level, it kills your confidence, which is, you know, the whole mental health side of why I try to connect the sim racing thing to mental health, because, you know, they do play hand in hand, at least for me. And if I feel that I'm just as human as anybody else, I feel that if I feel that way, then I'm sure somebody else feels that way. So it was definitely a rough time. But now I think that understanding a little bit more about, I guess, just the situation that I'm in, really, because this was my first time, or one of my, well, I guess my second or third time on this IMSA race. And, I mean, again, P1 and everybody else, I think, everybody else above, I think, I can't remember exactly, but it might have been P14 or P13. Everything else above that, so I think they were all in the 140s. I was in the 144s. So it was just kind of messy. Now, though, I'm going to be doing the fixed series for now on both F3 and the Ferrari. We'll definitely give it another go at some point this week. Get another 1 hour endurance in. I absolutely love the 1 hour setup. It gives me a lot more time to get into it, and it gives me a lot more time to just let my brain just try to disconnect as much as possible from the real world, and just kind of lose myself here on track.
Car left. Clear left. Okay, Jose. Moving to pit for fuel. 35 minutes into the race. The leader is just done 140.50. Yellow flag. Keep your wits about you, mate. You're gaining on this guy. The gap's now 0.37. Car left. Still there. Left side. Still there. Clear left. stay focused. We're still in this. E7.
I wonder what year it was that they changed that section of Catalonia. I remember, I think it was an F1 like 2012 or 2013 that entire section was very different.
Yellow flag. The guy in front is Alves. Slower car ahead. This guy's racing us for position. Don't expect a blue flag. slower cars ahead.
I was also incredibly confused between what crew chief was giving me on position and what I was looking at on the black boxes, so that threw me off too. I'm gonna have to look and see for next time, just to have a better understanding of that.
Car right. Right side's clear. That's half fuel. You've used half your fuel. Left side, clear left. That was 145.00. On your left, clear left.
So in case anybody comes into the channel, just so that we can have something on the mental health side as well, in case that they miss it and they want to catch the stream later. So what is the whole connection between sim racing and mental health? When I started karting, I was 5 years old. So at 5 years old, life wasn't really that complicated, and fortunately for me, I've been very fortunate to have the most amazing family ever, and you know, they've never made my sister or I suffer in any kind of way, and we've just been able to have the best life possible, and I'm forever grateful for that. So growing up in that environment where Friday, Saturday, Sunday was just at the racetrack, that became my life, and that was everything I did. That was really everything I thought about, and really everything that I wanted to do. I remember, even if it was just kinder or first grade or whatever it may have been, I was in Puerto Rico up until third grade. So up until third grade, I really did not. I mean, I wanted to go to school to go see my friends and stuff, but I wanted to go be at the track and go be on my go-kart, and I wanted to go race, and I wanted to go do all that. And now, obviously, this was years ago, so I'm not able to like go back to those moments and analyze them and see how I felt and kind of learn from those feelings in those moments. But now going back to those memories and being able to connect them here with the sim, a lot of what the sim has been able to do is take me back to that mindset when I was 5 years old, and I really started thinking about this kind of innocence that we feel as kids, and maybe because I'm surrounded by a lot of family now, and I'm surrounded by um, family that's my age with their own young kids, so I'm starting to see life a little bit differently, and to a degree I started thinking to myself, like, why am I not able, or why are we not, as human beings, able to go back to that innocence, even if it's just for a small bit? So that's really what the simulator started giving me, because of the racing, I guess, characteristics and the racing experience of it, and being able to get back into that mindset, on top of being able to develop my own business and being able to have that kind of a big life change. That was the first step into really me kind of finding a happy place in my head. And when I started getting into sim racing, that I was able to build this rig, and that I was able to start performing at least somewhat consistently, I started feeling all of these things starting to come back, and a lot of it started to make sense, and I started to be able to think clearly and be able to see different situations from different perspectives. And what I said earlier, kind of, I get on the simulator just to be able to have fun and be able to disconnect, but also to just be able to have a gap in my day where I'm able to open up my brain and kind of use that creative power that ends up getting stored. I mean, sometimes it comes up just at the most random times, and I feel that when I'm giving 100% of my focus to this, I'm able to significantly increase the chances I have of those moments happening.
Car left. Clear left.
So I guess a lot of it also has to do with the ASMR aspect of it, and I mean, that's why this ASIM racing experience, that's why ASMR capitalized, and my love of like ASMR things. I think that we all love them, and that's why it's considered ASMR, is because we all tend to respond a certain way to it. I feel a lot of that when I'm holding onto this wheel and downshifting and upshifting quickly on these carbon fiber paddles with these magnetic shifters and all that stuff, and the pedals and all of the vibrations with the butt kicker and all the noises, and all of these different sensations really do play into each other, and they really do help immerse myself in sin. This is all I do now. I mean, really and truly, I don't really go out much unless I'm doing a job for a client. This is really what I dive into, and what I really enjoy the most. Apart from content creating, or digital media, however you want to call it. So yeah, this is something now that has become such a big part of life that it's just like a daily therapy for me, and I try to take as much of this therapy as possible, just to, like, I don't know if it's selfish or not, but I guess in a selfish way, to help myself as much as I can. I truly believe that we sometimes have to be selfish with our feelings in order to, I suppose, protect ourselves. I think that this day and age, it's very easy for me, at least, to how do I say it? I don't want to say. I mean, it's very easy for me to take things way too seriously and then make too big of a deal about it. So. Blue flag!
The pace.
It's been the week of blue flags and losing I rating. I'm surprised I still have my C license. Considering I lost my B license and I still haven't gotten it back.
Sector 1 is 3.4 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.43 off the pace. Sector 3 time is quick. Mark distance, we think about 6 minutes of fuel left. Coming up on a slower class car. You've just done a 145.03. Yellow flag, caution. The lead car's pitting. Jose. There's a car exiting the pits. Heads up. We've just had a stop-go penalty. You've still got an outstanding penalty. You've got 3 laps to serve this penalty.
Oh, this was where I got the penalty. I think it was like a 15-second stop and go.
There's traffic behind. On your right. Blue flag. Hold your line. Clear right. Left side. Clear left.
quiet in the chat room today, but that's alright. We'll keep trying to get people in. If not today, tomorrow. And if not the next day, then next week, because I won't be here Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. nothing more defeating than spinning around with 12 minutes left.
Blue flag.
I wonder if there's a way that I can comfortably play with the screen. I just don't see it.
Yellow flag. Caution. Alright, Jose. 10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left. Come on, man. Keep pushing. Car left. Clear left. The track temperature is increasing. It's now 21 Celsius.
Guys, if you're watching this and if you know anybody that you think would benefit from the mental health content or the sim racing content, I would hugely appreciate it if you would share this page and share the content. Would mean the world to me if I can have as many people as possible to connect with and share this with. Excuse me.
Blue flag. 5 minutes remaining. 5 minutes left. Oh, Jose, track limits, come on. Car left. Blue flag, he's still there. Clear left.
I'm watching the dash and seeing what's going on with all the different sections, see if I see anything different that I don't usually see while I'm driving. Hey Charles, I don't see you here in the chat, but I saw your message come in. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out.
That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes. slower car ahead. This guy's on our lap. He won't get a blue flag. He's racing us for position.
All right. It's the last lap. Coming down the last corner here, down the main straight. Starting off the last lap.
One more lap to go. Car right, clear right.
And there it is. Alright guys. Million thanks for hanging out.
P13. That's the end of the race. We'll get
If you enjoyed any part of the video, please give it a like. It's really been helping out the channel. If you want to continue to see more of these live streams, whether it's racing, mental health, or just want to come and hang out, please consider subscribing. And also hit the bell so you get notified when I'm going to be doing another live stream or uploading another video. And I hope to see you again in the next one. See you later. Alright, I'm back. So overall, happy with that. I'm